Hello and welcome to another episode of GM Tips. GM Rick here, and it is GenCon Day 1, Thursday, August 2nd. And welcome to all of you who are having fun at GenCon. To all my good friends, I'm sorry to miss. You guys know, I think the world of every one of you and all my D&D and Pathfinder and RPG in general people. However, GenCon's not a reality for me this year. I know some of you save up every year for it, and you know what? Big thumbs up. Being a dad of 3, one of which is in college, one of which is headed to trade school, one of which is in school going into the year 1 of her first or second year of school. Family, as you know, is always first to me. It always will be. And so I'm just saying this, that with this GM Tips, I'd love to be there with you. Someday I will meet all of you. I'd love to be there with Thread Raiders. I would love to be there with Steel Empire. I would love to be there with Nerdarchy. I would love to be there with GM Satine, Matt Mercer, Logan Bonner, Jason Bowman, all of you. I mean, there are so many of you I would love to be hanging with. And playing games, talking games, having drinks, doing all kinds of fun things. And there'll come a day for it. I just can't in the near future. I may get up to a PaizoCon. I'll let you know if that happens ahead of time if you want to join me there. But for now, it's not a reality. Family is first. That said, I am going to take some time to review a couple things. So let's just say new products review. And some of these are new, some of them are not necessarily. I will show it to you on the next episode when I do a down drill, probably outside of the ones I'm doing on the Co side. Now, I do have some lined up. I'm getting some ready to do a couple more joint ones. I did get the core rule books for Numenera. And it's not the PDF. It is the literal book. I have bought it. I have invested. I've invested into Shadowrun. Yes. If you haven't seen it, don't have it out here, but I have invested into it. I do have Starfinder's core rulebook and all the other Starfinder's books, so I've invested into those. There will be other games that I will play outside of Pathfinder, and I'm excited. And today, arriving fresh, crisp, new Pathfinder 2.0 playtest book. I've got it. Not just one copy. I've got a second copy I'm going to put away because this will be a memory for me. So I'm excited. I really am. And I'm downloading the material for the Doomsday scenario and the map. I am really excited about this beyond belief. Even though I don't know if I'll adopt 2.0. I want to at least look at it. Now, what am I going to review today with you? Well, a couple things that I think are really cool. These are these pocket books by Paizo. I hope they continue this into the 2.0 for those of you that will be doing 2.0. I love them. Why? Because they are easy to tote around. If you've seen a standard book by Paizo, it is twice this size. I love the hardcovers, but they are a pain in the butt if you want to go to remote sessions, take them to a con or whatever. These things, look at this. The Advanced Player's Guide. Look at how thin and light this is. I love them. Why? Portability, weight. Okay, so the writing is a little smaller, but that's part of going to a pocket size edition. That said, you don't lose the quality. The bindings seem to be pretty good. They're holding up really well. I'm not getting the dents in the covers, which I love. So for me, I can have my session on Fantasy Grounds, and these are easy for me to port out. I plan to get a core rulebook and others. Why? Because for me, portability is key. Do you lose any quality from them? No, not really. The pages are still really great quality pages. You still get all the material that you have in those books. They're not taking any of that material out. So if you need it for pocket reference, it is so much easier to thumb and go through, put bookmarks, put tabs in, whatever you want to do, and you're not ruining your hardcovers by doing it. These become my rough and tumblers that I can beat up and take with me, and I like that about them. And they're $19.99, folks. $19.99. You want to invest into Pathfinders, $20 a book. So much cheaper than D&D 5e or Numenera or any of the others. All the others are 50, 60 bucks, and no one else has done it but Paizo. So big props to them for figuring out how to do something affordable for your players. That's exciting. What else am I reviewing? Well, I want to hit a little bit the highlights of Shadowrun. I do love what I've thumbed through in Shadowrun 4.0. I believe is the one I have. If it's not, it's 5. I'll have to take a look. But the Shadowrun books that I have, I love. They are so informative. It takes a little bit of difference because you got to get used to the D20 not being the major point of reference as a GM. But for me, that's not a big deal. As long as the role play's there, the method's there, the system's there, I love it. I like the setting. I want to do a steampunk dark kind of future at some point. And this gives it to you. It's a dark technology with all the races and monsters that you have before, plus others. And I enjoy the idea of mixing magic and tech. That is something that I love. Something Starfinder's coming out with, which I like that. There's so much. If you haven't reached outside of 5e, I'm going to tell you right now, please do. You are lessening your experience role-playing games by just sticking with the core 5e books. I like 5e. It's fun. You can kind of convert it into different genres and campaigns. But for me, I'm sorry. To me, it is a fantasy game setting. Now, the cool thing, they are coming out with Eberron. They're coming out with Ravengro, which I love new settings. I always have. And I like that. I did get my 5e stuff, so give me props, folks. I got my DM's Guide, my Player's Handbook, and my Mordenkainen's. So I bought and invested into 3 of the 5es, which I said I would never do because I love Pathfinder too much. So, yes, I have done it. Give me props on that as a GM. And I do like it, I'll be honest. It for simplicity and for sake of creating a character and having something ready to go, very easy to do. And it's very concise in this. But don't sell yourself short. You've got to, and this is my topic kind of on with all these other things, expand your horizon. Get 3 or 4 RPGs that you like. Even if you only get the player books for them and just play them. Do it. There are so many resources. Let me tell you, if you want to find players for your games, look on meetup.com. If you like the local ones where you can go and meet up with people in your area. Meetup.com is a great place for people to post that information. Facebook often has the same type of thing. They'll have gamers groups for different areas. But I like Meetup. Meetup is very easy. Warhorn is another one. Warhorn.com. It's another one that'll allow, especially when it comes to Pathfinder groups, they use Warhorn pretty exclusively. So you can find a lot of local Pathfinder groups, maybe D&D groups on Warhorn. Also, Fantasy Grounds and Roll20, both allow you to be a player in any of these realms. You need Discord. To me, Discord is a great server when it's up for not stream gaming, but just for remote gaming. And it allows you to do the video and the voice, so it allows you a lot of facets that you can have. As you've seen my session records, that's been off of Discord. And I've been able to do that with my Yeti mic and with my camera, my new Logitech 1080 camera, HD 1080p camera. It's, I think, a 3-something series. And as you can see, it's very clear, very easy to use, and the investment is very minimal. And I'm going to tell you, if you haven't invested in a Yeti mic, save up the $80 and do it. It's great for when you do want to do an online session and people to hear you. And you can adjust the tone of it to make it sound really good. That said, you want to make sure that you are expanding your horizon. And you can find different systems. There's mutants and masterminds and champions if you like superhero games. There is Vampire the Requiem for horror, or Call of Cthulhu 6 or 7 for horror campaigns. There is post-apocalyptic ones, and there's some really good ones. You can use Open Legend system to do it. You can use, oh my gosh, how many different ones I can go into. Gamma World is my go-to because I've known Gamma World over the years, and it's really good. There are so many. FASA's got some ones under it that you can use. for Holocaust. They have one that they've updated. There's Darwin's World, which is an updated kind of fantasy Holocaust world, almost like Sword of Shannara setting. There is, for weird supernatural, there's the Dresden Files from Faith System. And then there's also our Fate System. And then there's also some other ones. There's a college campus one that they have. God, I'm forgetting it. But you guys will probably pop it out there. Savage Worlds, Numenera with Cypher System. Pale Sun, I think, is their new game. Really good game if you haven't done it. I love the premise of it. So there are so many different game genres that you can have. If you want, do you want to have a sci-fi fantasy setting? Starfinder, absolutely. If you just want true sci-fi, there is Traveler 20, Traveler Original, Space Opera. There are so many different systems that are out there that you can literally get immersed. If you want a modern one, of course, Shadowrun. Love Shadowrun. I think it's great. True 20 has some from Green Ronin. So you can go to Green Ronin and get some. If you want swords and sword, or if you want piracy, you can get Razor Coast. You can get Freeport for either D&D 5e or for Pathfinder. That's a great setting. If you just want different fantasy settings, Kobold Press, of course, with its Southlands and with Midgard, love the setting tremendously. It's in both D&D and in Pathfinder, so you can use it for either one. You have all the different ones that are out there. Ghost Walk, which is an old one. Everybody loves, what is it? Dark Sun. Dark Sun's another D&D setting outside Faerun and Greyhawk. So there are so many different things you can try, and I suggest trying these. Forget what everybody tells you about them. I love reviews. Folks, we're full of crap, okay? I love Nerdarchy. I love all these others that do reviews, but we're full of crap. Play it yourself. Our suggestions are great because we play them. But we are opinionated, and we like what we like. That's why I say it's crap. Nerdarchy, don't take me wrong. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. I love watching your casts. I love No Direction. I love a lot of these that do the reviews. But at the same time, we are opinionated and we are narrowed to our point of view. So don't let us limit you in what you play. Try it. There's a new one coming out that I think everybody will love once it finally hits the real world, as I call it. But there's a shattered RPG system coming out of our fine folks down under. And I have waited, guys, to get that hardcover in my hands. The soft covers are out. The system and the world is neat. It's after Ragnarok. Love that. And the world is so dark of a place, but yet there's still hope in there. And it is a true steampunk, futuristic, different races that is... It's got some really cool races that you don't find in other systems. And it's going to be cool. It's based, again, not on a D20. It's D12, D6, D8, D10. That's fine for me. As long as the plot's there and everything makes sense and is cohesive. And I think this one's going to surprise a lot of you. You will find my name in there. I'm one of the supporters and backers. I did a solid back on it. But I think it's going to be worth it. I really and truly do. Everything I've read on it, I love the artwork. I love what they're doing. Yes, they've had some bad runs at the printer, but they've got that fixed, I think. And I think we're finally going to get to where we need to go. So that said, I guess I want to title this New Products. Try new things. And I think that's the one thing, if I were to key anything in these GM tips, is try new things. If you don't try new things, you're not going to get the most out of gaming. And that's why going to a GenCon, and I'll wrap out with that, is so important. Going to the cons, you get introduced to a lot of new systems that you don't normally get to try. I suggest you try some new systems. If you want to, try them at the cons. Go in and play a game. play some because they're like I played Tefra system. It was a neat steampunk system based on D12 rolls. I liked it. Now, would I buy it? I don't know, but I liked the play. It was very smooth, very easy to do, very fun to be able to achieve things and push yourself. But the complication factor wasn't there. It was simplification. And I know some of you love simplification because it means you don't have to learn a lot of rules. Don't let rules scare you either. Rules are great, especially if your GM knows how to play them and work with them. Rules do not limit, they expand, but they give it a little bit of structuring to the physical forces of how things occur. And I like that. I'm always a believer, a little bit in the back of my mind, that even when I'm playing a fantasy game, I want a little taste of reality in there, because otherwise it's just way too far out there for me. So just a hint of reality is a good thing. All right, that said, again, I do my GM tips. This one was kind of more of an open-end one, but it's given you a lot of ideas. So I hope my ideas will give you some things to try. Try some games. Get back to me. Some of the ones I've even mentioned. Let me know your thoughts on it. Let me know what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it, what was neat for you, what was not so neat for you. That's a great source, and it gives a lot of people a place to go to where they can try different genres, different systems, and see what's right for them. Maybe you do like a certain type of genre, but you get tired of it from time to time, so you want to go to something new, something different, something that brings about the creative juices and gets you going on another set of ideas. Make sure you allow yourself that. Because that's the great thing about tabletop gaming. We don't have to stick with one genre. We can have lots of them. We can have lots of places to go. Thanks again. I hope you like what I am having to say. If you do, let me know. Next one, I hope, we'll have a guest. And he and I are getting together tonight. And so it'll be interesting on the topic we talked about. I think it'll be great for people who have families that play. Then I hope there'll be another one from another wonderful lady who has some great topic ideas. Say that's centered around railroading versus non-railroading, open end. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, but in a little different light than you're used to. And then hopefully we have some more. I've got more lined up that really want to get into it and talk and really come up with some great topics. And that's what I want this show to be for you. I want it to be something you can turn to and never walk away without learning something or gaining something new. And each time you play it back, something new clicks in your head. That's the way I want my GM tips to be. All right, thanks, and we'll talk to you again real soon.